Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. Glad to have you here. Today we're going to be looking at a couple of multiplayer battles that I played with one of my wonderful viewers, Fastsnake. And he popped on and friended me on Steam under Newport 5886, and we decided to host a little multiplayer battle to hang out and have some fun. And so that's really cool. If any of you guys want to friend me on Steam, you can do that and just toss me a message when you do, or when I accept, and we can play some cool battles. I'd love to get like a all viewer Talbheim matchup going. Try and figure out the proper spending limits for that. And I just think that would be a ton of fun. Here I have my anti-vampire Wood Elf army because Fastsnake over here was Wood Elves. We did play one before this, but sadly the replay didn't save for some reason. I've been having that problem. Just a lot of replays not saving when I save them at the end of the battle. So the core of this is two dryads here two sets of dryads here in the front, supported by a branch wraith, and then also two tree men. And so this is kind of the core of the army here, this heavy hitting center. On each side there's two eternal guard with shields. There's just regular glade guard. There's one war dancer with Azrai spears, and then one just extra eternal guard back here as well. He has a similar army, much bulkier formation here, which I think is good versus the vampires. So he's got a ton of eternal guard here in the front, two tree men. One of them is Durthu, his general, so he's gonna be dropping Flock of Doom and stuff like that. He's got three treekin. This one's vetted up to rank 2, and he's got a branch wraith. And behind that he has two war dancers, to ideally cut through like low armored like zombies, and other like skeleton warriors and stuff like that. That's what these guys would be best against. And let's go take a look at sorry about that, questionable vampire army, but it turns out to be a very, very close battle here. Over here one of the vampires has the Devils of Schwarzhafen, and a Terrorgeist flying out in the woods like as big as a tree. One player has zombies, lots and lots of zombies, and to lead this army is Strigoi Ghoul King, and he is on a Terrorgeist as well. So two Terrorgeists on the field. There's a Vargulf here in the middle. He's got a Corpse Cart with Unholy Lodestone, and just a ton of zombies here as the core. He's also got a White King over here, presumably just keep leadership up, and a Necromancer also on a Corpse Cart. So lots of healing to be done on these zombies, which is what you want to do when you have the cheap undead armies, is have lots of supporting units for them. On this side, a much more elite undead army, mostly Graveguard here, one skeleton warrior on this side, Sternsman on that side, so a strong right flank. He's got a unit of zombies way out in the front, the Red Duke on a steed out here. He's got two Blood Knights, so lots of expense here. Two Blood Knights will be trying to flank around and get at my tree men. And what else? Oh yeah, he has two Necromancers. So tons of raised dead are going to be coming my way. I'm not excited for. And he's got a Claw of Nagash Mortis Engine over here to support his Graveguard. So we'll get this started. Long battle here, 10 minutes. We're going to start the skirmishing out strong. We definitely have a disadvantage up in the air. Two Terrorgeists and the Devils of Schwarzhafen are in the air. So my poor Glade lady on a Glady on an eagle and her supporting eagle are not going to have too great of a time. Heirs of Kronos coming in here, doing pretty good damage to that Terrorgeist. Just trying to get him to expend his magic early is kind of the goal. And I'm going to come move up out of the forest here. I don't want the trees blocking any of my Glade Guard shots. These are just the typical Glade Guard, so not too much money spent on these guys. Fun map here, I think. Good for 2v2. You can see there's two hills kind of running down the middle of this map with large forests in the middle. Gives you lots of kind of lines of sight to play with and stuff like that. But in a 2v2, there's a nice two kind of lane formation. Here you can see I'm going to bring my eagle out to scout because we kind of saw these Blood Knights run into the forest. And I'm going to bring my eagle over just to try and scout. I'm going to start opening fire on some things. Oh, I think a Gaze and a Gash here hit my Glady. Not good. And my Glade Guard are going to open fire on these poor zombies. And here, I'm going to mess up here, and I'm accidentally going to cancel my net, and he's actually going to get away, but that would have been awesome if I could trap him there in range of my Glade Guard. It would have been a great move early on. You can see still shooting at these zombies. Not doing well because they're kind of have this loose formation here, but I am starting to crumble them, which is good. Or not yet. Still critical binding, so not taking any damage yet, but soon. Well, here comes another Gaze of Nagash, and luckily that's going to miss. So we're getting some nice use of mana out of the undead, which is always useful. But they are using a lot of my ammo here. And I'm going to realize that soon and switch off and start moving up one of these dryads to come kill it instead. But you can see once it starts crumbling, you can kind of leave it alone. I just wanted to get this meat shield off the field as soon as possible because there's going to be so many in the first place. With two Necromancers and the Red Duke. This Flying Goons God's coming in, so I'm going to run. My net is going to go off here. Definitely not the best place. A little too far out for my Glade Guard to shoot, but my Glady is going to get some shots. Very tired already, which is not ideal. He's going to follow up with the Devils of Shortoften. And I'm going to take that opportunity to just open fire on these guys instead. I'll take it. Gaze of Nagash coming in. Oof. Just barely going to dodge it. You don't see skirmish phases this long anymore in Warhammer. It is very entertaining to kind of watch this go back and forth. Using mana versus using arrows. Definitely don't know who's winning at this point. Definitely up for debate. Wasting a number of volleys here, which is not good. But like I'm at this point, I was thinking I'm not too concerned. Mostly just because there's so much mobility here, and there's so much threat from the air and from the raised dead that I really don't think I'm gonna get too great use out of these Glade Guard. So I'm just gonna come up here and fire. Devastating Gaze of Nagash coming in. It's gonna get my Glady to half health. It's definitely not what I'm looking for. And I'm gonna drop an upgraded Earth Blood on her to try and fix this. And I'm gonna start shooting at these Glade Guard. Not the best target, but just shooting at something. And he's gonna immediately pop Invocation of the Heck. Heal those guys right up. Flock of Doom there coming in on the zombies. So I'm going to switch targets. I'm going to move up, start shooting at the zombies. I want to get the meat shields off the field so my tree men can focus on the Glade Guard. You can see my ally Fastsnake here moving into sport. My branch wraith took a little damage from overcasting that guy. And you can see half ammo here, half ammo, and really a third ammo, so not looking too good for me at this point. Just really depends on how much more mana the vampires have left. Great Flock of Doom coming down from Durthu. It's going to hit a number of units. Some definitely vetted up Graveguard right there. So of course, typical with this army build, I'm going to send my blob in first, and I'm going to keep my kind of Eternal Guard off to the sides. Have some spearmen in support of my archers. Earthblood coming down here already. So trying to keep these Dryad alive as long as possible, though they never last too long. Eternal Guard here are going to countercharge the Grave Guard. They're going to do okay in this fight, but with the Stearnsmen, they're not really going to do very much damage. But really, they're just there to slow them down, and that's what they're doing. Oh, here, Strigoi, we missed it. The Vargulf got so close to my Glade Guard, but I managed to get the net off just in time, and so the Vargulf is going to be taking a beating here from the War Dancers with Azrai Spears and the point-blank fire shots from 2 Glade Guard. So that's going to drop a very expensive unit very quickly, just thanks to the Prey of Anathrama right there. Blood Knights coming around the flank. Another Gaze of Nagash coming in. Luckily, it's going to miss. And so as I'm finishing off these Vargulf, the Blood Knights are going to get a great charge as well as the Strigoi Ghoul King. And there's just too much here. I'm getting hit by the Flyers of the right Vampire and the Cavalry of the left. And so I am just going to quickly be overwhelmed on this side. You can see my ally dealing with the White King and the zombie hordes, as well as the Devils of Schwarzhofen. My Great Eagle here is going to come in, and my Glady is going to be shooting from a very far distance, trying to keep her safe as much as possible. Zombies appearing in the back lines. You can see my Tree Men still full health. This Tree Man definitely needs to be re-put into combat, not doing anything right there. This guy is kicking some zombie butt though, and untouched really. And the Branch Wraith, with the Earth Blood constantly going off, he is definitely going to be fine in that battle. You can see over here, Eternal Guard still fighting off these Grave Guard, not doing almost any damage to the Stearnsmen, but doing some damage to the to this Grave Guard. And I'm just going to keep firing here with my Glady. She's exhausted, probably not the best. My Great Eagle is going to try and get out of there. As I pull out my Glade Guard, even more zombies are spawned. As this Terrorgeist chases my Great Eagle, does some good damage there. You can see my Eternal Guard here holding up just barely underneath this swarm. Flock of Doom coming down. And a wonderful, like, Lord of the Rings-esque fight here going on. I'm going to bring my Glady down in here to help. And I'm going to try and double team the Strigoi Ghoul King right here. But he's going to see that and amazingly, instantly pull out this Terrorgeist. And I am no longer happy with this fight. You can see Earthblood coming down though, which is going to help. But my Great Eagle here gets terrified. Blood Knights nearby, not looking good. Luckily, he has a charge on my Glade Guard, and so his troops are going to run straight past my Great Eagle, heading for the Eternal Guard, and my Great Eagle is going to get up in the air. You can see my main line, the Dryads are dying, but the Tree Men are absolutely fine. 100%. I'm going to charge this Great Eagle in to this Terrorgeist, try and lock him down as my Glady casts Net of Anathrama on his fellow Terrorgeist. So that's why I love this combo. Quick movement, and that's going to allow me to freely double team Strigoi Ghoul King. And there's really nothing he can do at this point. Even though he's so much better than the Great Eagle, just the 2v1 is going to send him crashing to the ground. And of course I'm going to split up. I do not want to fight a full health Terrorgeist. I don't have that kind of firepower anymore, especially with Earthblood on cooldown. So you can see I'm just going to be coming over here, and I'm going to be trying to cast Earthblood, but every time I do, he just gets hit by the Claw of Nagash or something else. Over here you can see tense chase as my Glady runs away from the Terrorgeist. But my returning Glade Guard are going to be opening fire to try and help out. And you can see my ally over here just blobbing up with Earthblood, definitely a good strategy. And he's going to be keeping all these units alive. Flock of Dooming and Earthblooding. Repeated charges from the Blood Knights. Out here I charge in with my spare Great Eagle, and I'm going to be firing in with my Bowman. On this side you can see finally my Eternal Guard with shields got routed off the field. Not much damage to this turn's at all. But they have delayed long enough for my tree men to win in the middle, and so now I can come support my ally here with all my tree men, and I'm winning the air fight. Thanks to Prey of Anathrama, I've been able to single out these far more expensive units. Really, this is almost just the price of a Terrorgeist right here. 1,600 for the General, 900 for the Great Eagle, so just slightly more pricey than a Terrorgeist. But they did take out 2 Terrorgeists and did some damage to the Devils of Schwarzhofen, so definitely paying for themselves here. And now I can kind of, now that I own the air, I can kind of send my Glade Lord, my Glady, wherever the fight needs. So you can see great tactic here, spawning these zombies in between so I can't get these rear charges. And it's going to work. They aren't going to do really any damage, but they are going to slow down my expensive hero blob here, or tree man blob. But my Great Eagle is going to come in here, try and terror these guys. That was at least my idea, but these guys actually can't. They don't have morale because they're summoned. So definitely a mistake there. Some Eternal Guard here routing in the middle because of the proximity of the Claw and the Gash. But you can see they're kind of winning over here against these Blood Knights, which is good. My archers coming into support. As these Blood Knights kind of fall, they're going to call it quits there. As the Blood Knights, I wish this wasn't here because this would be a great shot. As the Blood Knights come charge down the Glade Guard. But yeah, definitely a Pyrrhic victory there. Very, very close. Glade Lady in the air. Taking out 2 Terrorgeists. Definitely not what I expected when I saw the Air Force. And definitely a lot of damage there from the Gaze of Nagash. Did not think it would do that much damage to my Flying Lord, or even hit as many times as it did. Holy 338 kills on the Triad. All zombies, I'm assuming. There were also Graveguard in the middle, but like holy 338. Definitely what Dryads are best at, cleaving through that unarmored infantry. 192, 108. Tearing up some Graveguard there in the middle. I wish I could go look at Fastsnake's kills. But definitely not your usual army you see from the vampires. Lots of meat shielding and very expensive units here. At the bottom, definitely shut down that Vargulf, which you have to be very wary of because the Vargulf does not have good morale. And it does not have good armor. And so if it gets caught out in the open like that, it can die very quickly. You can see good kills here on 2 of these Eternal Guard. Good kills on the War Dancers, considering they were up against 2 Blood Knights and Terrorgeists and Stragoys. Mostly zombies there from these Glade Guard. But they kind of did their job. They did a little bit of damage to the Devils and other such things. You can see the Eagle got a rank up there from... so definitely did a lot of damage to enemy heroes. And 47 kills on the Glade Ladies, not that bad considering who she was fighting up against. I wish I could see Sunwang Shu's kills, because he was the one I definitely went up against more. Other than the Terrorgeist combo from the General. Yeah, well, let's go look at this one. This one was an interesting battle. Mostly because Fastsnake drops out right at like the very beginning of the battle, and so we're going up against the General again. I think we have a different player that is playing the Dwarves, and we decided to change it up. He's playing Chaos, I'm playing Bretonnia. He's got a triple Shaggoth build going here, so that's 2 Dragon Ogre Shaggoths, a Chaos Warhound, and Kolex Sun Eater. Over here is his infantry force. He's got 4 Chaos Warriors, 2 Aspiring Champions, and 2 Forsaken. And that's kind of for leadership. I have a main line of 6 Spearmen at Arms. I've got 3 Peasant Bowmen, 3 Men at Arms with polearms supporting them, 1 Field Trebuchet, Knights of the Realm. I have a Grail Knight out here with a Paladin supporting them, and he's on a Barded Warhorse. And then I have a Flying Goon Squad of a Paladin and Leon Leoncoeur. coming out here just to see what's going on. And one Knights of the Realm and a, where is she? You can see my trebuchet already wavering from the Gallbobber. I have a damsel here somewhere. Oh yeah, there, right in the middle, where she's supposed to be, with her Encouragara. Damsel is definitely interesting. They get kidnapped by elves when they're very young, and taught how to do magic, and then sent back to Bretonia to help them worship the Lady of the Lake, who's a goddess of Athelloren. Definitely amazing lore there for the damsels. Super cool unit. And Curse of the Midnight Wind is an amazing spell, and she does have a scroll of the spell cooldown or whatever. Oh, we missed. So yeah, the the computer, seeing that the enemy were over here, they just charged their Shaggus in straight away, and the Slayers are coming in close. And I'm gonna get a charge here with the Knights of the Realm. I'm trying to get these guys off the field. We'll have no charge resist when charged in the back, which is good. I was just trying to do some damage to a very expensive unit, but it didn't do as much damage as I thought. Over here, my hero is going to get into some Thunderers, and some Dwarf Warriors are going to come to support. Not worried about that. There's really nothing here that can threaten me, except for the Thunderers. So Shaggus doing better than I thought they would by just jumping in here. Grombrindle coming in, trying to do some work. He's just going to get tossed around. Knights of the Realm over here holding up these Suicided to hold up the Greenskin force. Artillery is just beating my Spearmen to hell. Oh man, such brutality. Luckily they're very cheap. Curse of the Midnight Wind, I think, coming down here. Yeah, so gonna help those Shaggus try and survive. So I dropped that as with the extended duration. And over here, my Grail Knights are just trying to get repeated charges off. We'll watch their charge here. It's just gonna lay these dwarves flat as we charge over and over again. And as long as we keep these Thunderers, ooh, devastating foot of Gork there on some Spearmen. As long as we keep these Thunderers in combat, they're not going to be doing too much damage to us. Over here, the Greenskins have blobbed up. So I'm going to cast Curse of the Midnight Wind, try and make my Spearman units last a little bit longer. And I think at this point, we've manned the Trebuchet again, and we're going to turn it on this Orc blob. Start doing some damage to this guy here. Let's watch as the first volley comes in. We'll see how good their aim is. Get some revenge. Just hit my own troops. That's great. One Shaggus is routing, so it's not looking too good here. Really worried when your other player quits. It's not looking good, so I had to be very aggressive here and rush forward as fast as possible. Shaggus coming around. Heroes are now split up, and I'm going to be bringing Leon Kerr back in to try and deal with Grimgor with the support of these men-at-arms with polearms. So gonna get a nice charge in there. He's not gonna go down though, which is gonna be bad. So this is not a kind of a fight Leon Kerr wants to be in. I thought I would do more damage on the charge there. Over here you can see I'm shooting at the exposed flank of these Orc boys, which is really good. Good option when you have troops like this positioned back here. Don't shoot at these guys, shoot at the guys farther away. Shaggus still going to town. My Grail Knights just got Rune of Wrath and Ruined, so that's not going to be good. And they're going to be cleaning up some of these Orc boys in the background. My hero still over here, just annoying these guys, doing as much damage as he can. And the Dwarf kind of player is blobbing up over here to try and finish off these Dragon Ogre Shaggus with his hammers. Leon Kerr took a beating, so I'm going to bring him over here, get him out of that fight, let my polearms, men-at-arms with polearms, do what they do best, deal with some armored troops cost-effectively in the long term. You can see these Chaos troops doing really well, holding back all these Orc boys and stuff. When the Orc player was really focused on me, the computer just kind of charged in randomly and forced him to blob up. You can see I'm holding in lots of reserves, lots of layers here to protect my Peasant Bowmen. Do not want them to be exposed at all. I'm going to need their ammo if I'm going to win this battle. You can see the Orc player routing. The Grail Knights finished off the Trebuchets. The Shaggus are gone though. But I am going to bring my hero squad in to deal with this. As Leon Kirk gets like battered by some Night Goblins. Luckily, I have Grail Knights close by, and they're gonna charge in, lay waste to some goblins. As this Shaggus goes in, final death charge. Slayers coming in, definitely not looking good. Oh, just sending so many dwarves flying. Such a beautiful game. Oh, what was that, 10 Slayers right there? So, falling back. He tried to... I'm sad I missed that. He tried to charge in some Orc Boar Boy Biggins, and they were coming in. And I brought some spare spearmen in from the sides, shot them up from the front, and then forced them to stop by landing the only occur in the middle. And I wiped off a very expensive unit with some very cheap units and a quick charge for my hero. Definitely what you want to do. No point in running at that point. I just turned everybody around and opened fire. And these guys, I believe they don't have a shield. Yeah, they don't have a shield, so they're going to suffer really bad when shot point blank. Grimgor over here, isolated, trying to chase down my damsel. Luckily, she gets away. And I'm going to bring back my men-at-arms with polearms and just slowly whittle this guy away. Don't want to get an extended fight with him. I'm going to get a nice little charge here from Leon Leocoeur. Send him flying. Pop Sword of Couronne. Definitely don't want to stand here too long though. Chaos coming in to help. Huge blob of dwarves coming in. I'm going to start shifting all my archers around over to fire at these miners and these hammerers in here. Nice column formation there is going to work to my advantage when shooting in. You can see Grimgor here is going to, I think, be terrified and then get killed off by Leon Leocoeur. Very, very important if I want to survive all these greenskin units coming back. Again, opening fire. So these Slayers are going to come in after my Paladin, and I don't want that. I want my Peasant Bowman to use all their ammo as possible, as much ammo as possible, so I'm going to run him away. Some Chaos are going to meet shield for me, and I'm going to support them with men-at-arms with polearms. And this blob is just going to favor me here. It is nice for the runesmith, but it is going to allow me here just to pull my Peasant Bowman right off to the side, fire in, and then also Curse of the Midnight Wind here. So these miners are going to have almost no attack. Same with the Dwarf Warriors. As my heroes come in the back, getting that rear charge morale penalty, getting the terror. You can see terrified over here, getting shot in the side. So yeah, these troops are not going to last very long. Chaos Warriors over here cleaning up the greenskins. Can't believe they sent those Black Orcs packing, or Savage Orcs. Oh yeah, there. Sent the Black Orcs packing. Something I did not see coming. Aspiring Champions must have done a lot of damage. Their magic does go past armor. And so yeah, all these units are going to rout. Grombrindle's going to be still full health here in the middle. So I'm just going to, same with Grimgor, I'm just going to swarm him with some armor-piercing infantry. And my heroes are going to leave. They're going to go do some other stuff. As these pole arms kind of slowly whittle them down. You can see I have about one volley left with each of these bowmen, so I'm going to line them up and turn them off fire at will. And wait for the dwarves' inevitable return. And that's when I'm going to use them. All these units coming back. Chaos Warriors running around. Very tired. I'm surprised they're not exhausted. Boar Biggins running around over here. And really it's just Grombrindle left. Gonna send him flying there. And I think I'm gonna try and pull out here soon. Grombrindle can do a ton of damage. He's like a dwarven Grimgor. So don't want to leave him in there too long. Especially, ooh, just devastating shot there as he pulls out. You can see my bowmen using some of their final ammo on these miners with blasting charges. And these dwarf warriors as they come out of the forest. And as they run out of ammo, I'm going to come up to use them to meat shield. I don't want them to save Grombrindle at this point. The power bar is still pretty even. so it could go either way. Gonna come in here against the Runesmith, get a devastating charge. Gonna send him packing again. I already did it before, we gotta do it again. And at that point, being rear charged by the Spearman is enough to kind of rout him off. Grombrindle off the field. Takes 1,000 spear attacks to down him. And I'm going to just start having Leon Leocoeur on Overwatch, running around here, just trying to shatter as much of this infantry as possible. You can see there's a good number of greenskin infantry coming back. There's still some chaos though. The computer did a very good job. Did not think it would do that great of a job. But I guess if you had to pick a build for the computer, the triple Shaggoth is a pretty good one. Though I would have wished that he didn't charge straight in there. It did kind of distract the players, and they were a little off their game. Assumed they were going to win there, I think, for a second. Because the computer is not the best. But it did open up for some opportunities for me to come in on the ranged troops of the dwarves, stop them from firing, and really just do some good work with my magic and with my cavalry, popping around in the dwarf backlines. And these remaining greenskin, they're going to see this ragtag army here put together, and it's just going to be too terrifying. And they're going to rout off the field here just from army losses. And another Pyrrhic victory. Definitely love Bretonnia. I love the Grail Knights. And I kind of liked having the Paladin on the ground as well. He lasted a bit longer than the one on the Pegasus. You can see here definitely brought some of the largest numbers along with the greenskins, whereas the Chaos and the Dwarves brought more elite armies. XP rank 9. There is absolutely no way with 11 kills. That is confusing. Oh well, whatever. 150 kills here on these Grail Knights definitely paid for themselves. These Knights of the Realm kind of suicided them to hold off the Greenskin Tide. Great kills here on the Bowman, 81, 62, 74. Orc Boy Biggins and Orc Boys primarily. I think they also shot into the back of the Slayers near the beginning. You can see my Spearmen here. These are the ones that got hit by the Trebuchets, just utterly destroyed. The Damsel did her job, helped. 32 kills on this guy, 12, 15, 100 on Leon Leocoeur, 35 on each Paladin. Pretty good. I bet Fastsnake's computer ally did a lot of work there for me, charging into the side of the greenskin units, really wiped out a ton of them, which is good. But you can see here, Chevron up for the Grail Knights, so definitely did some good work. Anyways, thanks for Fastsnake for playing with me. It was a ton of fun. And if any of you guys want to play as well, feel free to toss me an invite on Steam. I'd love to hang out with you guys, play like a Siege of Talabheim. So if you do want to hang out, message me, go download some of the top maps on the workshop, and we can have some fun. Play some games, maybe some scenario battles like the Empire versus the Greenskins at Blackfire Pass, or anything really of the sort. I'm sure we can get creative with it. But anyways, thanks for watching, and that's that.